Hi everyone, sorry I haven't done a video for a while. As I said, it's been a flat season. It's not necessarily my favourite, but yes, but someone's come through to me recently and said, well, who do you fancy for the Oaks, who do you fancy for the Derby, etc. So I thought, why not do a bit of a video for the 2 days of the Epsom meeting, really. I'm going to be getting into depth a bit more on the TB races, but I'm going to mention the last ones just as one horses in each and one of them. So the 2 o'clock opener is the 1 mile Group 3, and the horse I like here, no surprises, Odalise. He came second in this last year to Thistlebird, who was a prolific course and distance winner. His first run back was on bad ground, so put a line through that, but then he just didn't seem to fully stay 1 mile to the latest. The good ground here is ideal, the 1 mile trip is a lot better, the draw is okay, and he should go very close. Others to mention this, Bold Lass, he's won his last 2 only by a short distance, but watching the video he only seems to just about do enough, so he could improve to take this, but you know, with the avoidance of doubt, it's one I couldn't confidently put up. Now there is a form line between Don't Be and Crowley's Law. There was nothing but a nose between them at Goodwood. The bit I like about this is they handle the Goodwood undulations, and there's no undulations quite like Epsom. So these 2 are literally joined at the hip on form. Well, both will have to do something to catch Odalise. My 1, 2, 3 here is Odalise from Don't Be and Crowley's Law. The 2:35 is the 1 mile 2 handicap, and the best thing you can do here is just look at Mark Johnson. Not only is his yard in amazing form at the moment, which is very important, but his record in this race is absolutely outstanding. And taking that into account, a veteran of this race team is Sanokian Star. He's a course and distance winner, and the fact that Joe Fanning's picked this one does suggest he's the first string, so you've got to take that one seriously. Master of Finance as well, Sylvester de Souza's in cracking form at the moment. He acted around Chester as well, so Chester's my local track, it's all bends, a few undulations as well, so he should go well, but the line of form, not too sure how strong it is actually for Master of Finance. Fat Sota is very interesting. He's a course and distance winner, and I think he can ignore his latest run on soft going. It's very interesting that the yard have put Ryan Moore, who's a rare runner, and he could go well, very well indeed. Now, but the horse I'm coming down on the side of is actually the Mark Johnson 3rd string. I'm taking a bit of a punt here. And that is Firefighting. He's a course and distance winner at separate times, but he actually came 3rd in this race last year, ran a really solid race. This time around he's in equally if not better form going into it, and he's actually £1 lower, so on a balance of form that he came 3rd last year, there's a good chance, I don't know if this is as strong as last year, then he could go one better. The 1, 2, 3 here is Firefighting from Sanokian Star and Fat Sota. The 3:10 is the Diomed Stakes over 1 mile. Very good race this. The favourite is going to be short priced, and it's going to be A-Rod. The form of the Lockinge, it's only been tested once, and that was by a horse called Cable Bay, who came out and won a Haydock. Nowhere near as good a race as the Lockinge, but he still won it nicely enough. And A-Rod ran pretty well in that race there. The one problem I do have with this horse though is he inevitably finds one horse too good and beats it on the day, so the price I'm currently seeing around 5 to 4 is plenty short enough for me. The horse I actually like here is Shifting Power for Hannon and Hughes. He came 4th in last year's Guineas, and then from there he went over to Ireland and took on some really good horses, the likes of Kingman as well, and then he got beat 5 lengths, so while he didn't win necessarily all the time, his form is very solid. He's come back this year in decent form, and I remember reading an interview back in March to say this was going to be one of his first starting points in terms of big targets, so I'd rather be having Shifting Power currently at 4 to 1 each way than probably A-Rod at 5 to 4. Tullius is interesting because this is his time of year. Though his latest run behind Western Him wasn't great, and that was up in class, and it's a similar class to this. I just don't know if he has the class to take something like this. Well, you've got to mention Custom Cut as well, because obviously he came 9th, but only 3 lengths in total because he finished in a bunch behind A-Rod, but there's nothing there to suggest he's going to turn the form around on him. It's a cracking renewal list, but my 1, 2, 3 I'm happy to go with Shifting Power from A-Rod and Tullius. 3:45 is the Investec Mile, and this is my nap of the day in this race, and that is Abseil for Ryan Moore and Michael Stout. He won this last year with a lot more in hand than the half a length that he won by. He got a lot of trouble in running. Ryan brought him out wide. He then idled once he got in front, but he was well in command. He's had 1 comeback run this year. He kept him a bit fresher, which was a really solid 3rd, and this doesn't look as good as it was last year, so he would have to rate my nap of the day at around 3 to 1. abseil. Others to mention in this one, God Willing, good run latest, and it was behind, well, it was a Goodwood, which I like the tie in a former Goodwood because of the undulations, and it was behind a horse called 50 Shades of Grey, who quickly racked up a double at Goodwood. He was running on at the end, so this now an extra furlong up to a mile would suggest he's got a decent each way chance. Another each way chance, if there's a fast enough pace to aim at, is Zug's Wang. He stays 1 mile 2, in fact he's well over 1 mile 2, so stamina's assured. He will be staying on at the end, but he is a bit of a plodder, it seems to me, and I think Abseil's just shown that bit more of a liking, well, firstly for the cause, and secondly he does seem to have a bit more turn of foot. 1, 2, 3 here then is Abseil from God Willing and Zug's Wang. The 4:30 is the Investec Oaks, the big one of the day. And the favourite here, and probably rightfully so, is Legitissimo for David Watchman and Ryan Moore. He won the Guineas, staying on right the way to the line. And everything in his breeding suggests that 1 mile 4 should be absolutely fine for it. However, I can't get away from the run at Newbury last time of Crystal Svedza. And I know Svezda, I don't know how to pronounce it. I know Ryan Moore, you know, probably who rode it that time, and people are saying, oh, he's jumped off to go on Legitissimo, but I think that's just the way it works now, because you know, he has a big connections to the Tabor family, etc., and that's why he's picked it. But what got me about this horse, it travelled so well, it got no luck in running. Ryan Moore switched it to the very outside and it flew home like an absolute train over 1 mile 2, which suggests to me 1 mile 4 is 100% guaranteed, where I don't think Legitissimo is necessarily 100%, being he's never raced over further than a mile before. A lot's taken on trust. Star of Seville, he never gets the credit he deserves, this horse, and he was a good winner latest at York over 1 mile 2, and he just gritted it out at the end. I just think he'll run a good race, but I just think something's going to have that big of turn of foot around this course for him. A gigantic price if you want to have a punt on something, and he's just missed out on my top 3, is a horse called Bellageur for Rafe Beckett. He was a really good second last time out in the Lingfield trial. Now he went there fresh, no run, straight to Lingfield trial, held up and came home really well. In the past he's strip fitter for a run, so he's likely to come on for it, and you can't get away from Rafe Beckett's record in this race. He got the forecast 1 and 2 a couple of years ago, he had the winner before then, so he targets his best ones at this, and it's 40 to 1. I've noticed at the moment on Sky Bet, I don't know if it's even bigger somewhere. I'm not saying it's going to win, I don't think it will, but you know, I think you'll get a lot worse run through money from other horses than backing that one at 40 to 1. A lot of interest to me here is Jack Naylor for the Harrington Yard. He's been staying on really well at the end of 1 miles over in Group 1s on his latest 2 starts, but literally looks like he's going to come nowhere, and then finishing so fast, it just suggests everything about it needs further, and a lot further. I think the step up to 1 mile 4 is the way forward, and I think he'll go close. But from 1, 2, 3 here, I'm actually going for Crystal Svedza from Legitissimo. I think it'll travel well. I'm sure he might win, but I like the fact that Crystal Svedza's won over further already. So I think Legitissimo will fill second, with Jack Naylor back in third. Just briefly on the last 2, because the person who asked just asked for the TV races. I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail purely because I've left this quite late. But in the 5:15, I like the look of a horse called Aces here. He ran well in the 1 mile Group 1 latest. And the drop in trip and class here to a listed, I think will both be in his favour. His style of running suggests as well the long home straight at Epsom, providing he handles the track, shall go well. Around 9 to 2, that's a big price. And then in the 5:50, Make It Up's interesting. He's a course and distance winner on his debut and did it really well. Have a look at the video of it on Sporting Life if you haven't already. His best form is fresh, and I've read an article in the Racing Post, I think it was yesterday, to say that they were deliberately going straight here. That's also around 9 to 2, so I think that could run a cracking race. Well, thanks for watching, and as always, if you fancy anything tomorrow or for Derby Day, let me know, and there'll be a video this time tomorrow for Derby Day. Okay, have a good time tomorrow, good luck, and take care, bye bye.